What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is The Order of Things. I'm D Nasty.
Brandon Christie.
Santana.
Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing a kind of controversial event. Some would call it even the worst comic book of all time. So, it's Spider-Man One More Day. And, we're going to talk a lot and in-depth about it. But just to kind of start out and give you some review about our last videos, make sure you go check them out on the channel. We left off with World War Hulk, where Hulk just kind of came back and was just getting revenge for the Illuminati sending him away. And then in the grander scheme of things, we left off with Civil War. So everything we kind of talk about from here on out is the aftermath of Civil War, and things are gonna really pick up soon from there, but everything is just everybody trying to assemble back the pieces now that all the teams split. We got the Mighty Avengers, which is like Iron Man's cop team, and he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you got still the new Avengers, who are like, they're carry on Captain America's legacy, even though he's been murdered. And Bucky Barnes is the new Captain America. So yeah, a lot of crazy shit has just gone down, so everyone's really feeling the after effects of that. But in honor of Into the Spider-Verse coming out today, we're going to talk about one of the historical Spider-Man stories. And like I said at the beginning, it's probably considered not only the worst Spider-Man comic of all time,
I wonder why.
The worst comic of all time.
The worst comic.
Basically, just because a lot of bullshit happens in this. You know what I mean? Let's just go right in. Leaving off with Civil War, we know that Peter Parker made one of the biggest decisions of his life and revealed himself to the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it was basically Iron Man who convinced him to do that because he wanted him to really push the initiative. Yeah, really like showing his face and his true colors at that point. But he convinced Spider-Man to reveal himself in a press conference, and now everyone knows who Peter Parker is. They know his true identity. So he's kind of still dealing with that. He can't really be outside or seen, you know what I mean? Yeah. And not only does everyone know his identity, but he's on the run from Iron Man and the rest of the Mighty Avengers. Because if you remember at the end of Civil War, he betrayed Iron Man. Yeah. He stopped fucking with what was going on. He didn't like the whole Prison 42. He didn't like all the dirty shit that was happening under the scheme. And he chose to go side with Captain America. Yeah. So Iron Man and Spider-Man are not on good terms right now. And Spider-Man is essentially a fugitive. So he's also dealing with a lot of just crazy shit in his life. To make things even worse, now that everyone knew his true identity, the Kingpin put out a hit on him. And basically tried to get him assassinated. He had a sniper just aim from the top of a roof and just try to snipe this dude. And Peter Parker, having his spider sense, just jumped out the way. Aunt May is behind him. So she just gets hit with that bullet.
Damn.
And she's just, she's obviously very old, but...
God, she's dead.
Well, she's not dead, but she goes to the hospital. She's in a coma.
That's crazy.
And basically, they're trying to keep her alive. There's nothing really that they can do. That's what the doctors are trying to tell Peter. But he wants to do everything, obviously, to try and find every type of resource there is available, because he doesn't want to lose his arm. Yeah. So yeah, Peter Parker is just really in a negative mindset right now, because Aunt May is in the hospital, Captain America died, so he goes to
fuck the world.
Basically, yeah. He goes. We find out that he still kept a piece of the Black Venom symbiote, just hidden away in the cemetery. It might be where Aunt Ben's gravestone is.
Uncle Ben.
Oh yeah, I said Aunt Ben. So yeah, he gets the Black Venom symbiote, puts it back on, and basically just starts parading around in the black symbiote. That's why you see him wearing that in World War Hulk. Yeah. And basically, he just goes on this mission to go kill the Kingpin and get revenge. He gets to that point where it's like he's face to face with Kingpin.
He kills him?
No, because great power, great responsibility. That kicks into him. It's like I can't do it. One of the things about Spider-Man is that he can never kill.
He just had one of his pussy meltdowns.
That's
all
Like, you melt down. That's the sad part about this nigga. Like, come on, man. Like, my nigga.
Yeah, like unfortunately that was kind of a letdown. Some fans wanted to see that happen, but Peter Parker and Spider-Man, he's a character he never kills.
Right. If it's the worst comic, they could have just like fuck it.
But that kind of happened. This is like the prelude to this comic. I'm just giving you guys a little bit of background. So, not only does that happen, he doesn't kill the Kingpin. He just kind of goes back to just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
He puts on his normal suit again, and now we pick up with this comic. He goes in, and first I should tell you, before I even say that, this comic whole point was to undo a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So we pick up, he's in the hospital, he's with Mary Jane, he's with Aunt May. Aunt May is just in the hospital bed in a coma. Mary Jane is his wife at this point. If you guys don't know that, it's not just a girl he's fucking around with. He's married to her.
Got that. No.
Yeah, exactly. They got married like in the 90s in comics. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit before, but around that. So a while ago.
Yeah.
They've been married for a while, and it's just kind of them. Those three are the family. Mary Jane, Pete, and then Aunt May. So they're kind of just talking with the doctor, trying to see what they can do. And the doctor's telling them, hey, listen, you guys have no insurance, you have no money. I can't provide any care for this woman. You know what I mean? Because they have fake IDs. They're not going by their names.
He didn't even at least have money laying away.
Well, I probably assume he had a little bit of money, but he's been on the run. He's been a fugitive. He could have been blowing it. You know what I mean? It might not even be enough to cover the bill. You know what I'm saying? Peter Parker don't got bread like that. You know what I'm saying?
But you on the Avengers, you was on there for
but he's on an underground team that's running from the government. You know what I'm saying? So they're not getting any support. You know what I mean? That's the Iron Man's team that's got the government support. They're chasing him. So now he has fake IDs. You know what I mean? He's at the hospital. He's talking to the doctor. The doctor's like, "There's nothing I can really do to help you. You know what I mean? Unless you get some money, I can try to get her just like better care." You know what I mean? Not really like, it's not a cure or anything, because she's essentially in a coma. But it's like I can put her in a special room, you know what I mean, where she'll get nice care. And then he's like, alright, I'm going to go see somebody who got a bottomless check. That's what he says in the comic. You can start looking through it if you want. He's like, I'm going to go see somebody who got a bottomless check. Somebody who got money. You know what I mean? He tells that to the doctor. The doctor's like, wait, listen, before you go, I'm going to try to do whatever I can to help her, just because I know who you are type shit. He's like, I know you're Spider-Man. I know you got this fake ID, whatever, but I know you're Peter Parker. Because everyone knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And he's like, yo, you saved one of my uncles back in the day, so this is how I'm going to repay you, but you got to bring me money. You know what I mean? You got to bring money, because I got to pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? There's still going to have to be a bill to pay. So he's like, all right, I'm going to go see somebody with money. And we see him just swinging through the air, you know what I mean, webbing through the air, and he lands on this building. And we're not really sure where he is, and he's just crawling. And we kind of cut from there. We switch to Tony Stark, who's just in his office, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., chilling. You know what I mean, he's getting a lot of just signals, a lot of reports. He just had dealt with World War Hulk, so he's just trying to kind of sweep that under the rug. And then he gets an alert, like, oh, there's an intruder.
Intruder?
And he's like, what? He's like, can you bring it up? They're like, we can't see him.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'll go deal with it, basically. So he suits up, and we just come to the next, we go back to Peter Parker walking on the wall, and you just see Iron Man fly into him and grab him out the air and toss him to the ground.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so now Peter Parker's just kind of on the ground. Iron Man's floating down with his jets down to him. He's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you really got the balls to come out here? Like when you're a wanted man, you know what I'm saying, and you betrayed me, like I got a personal beef with you, cause you know what I mean, you like a traitor to my side. And Peter's like, listen, dude. He's like, listen, dude. It's your fault that I revealed my identity to the world. It's your fault. You convinced me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, listen, Aunt May's in the hospital. She got shot because of all that, and I don't have no money. You need to help me. You know what I'm saying? And Iron Man's like, listen, you're a fugitive. I'm not gonna risk my position helping a fugitive. And two, not only that, but two, you're not like the other Avengers that's on the run. They're on the run, but everyone knows your identity. Feel me? You're a little bit easier to like find and track down, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, you're not in any position to tell me what I need to do. And then Peter's just like, you know, like, we're gonna fight then. You know what I'm saying? And then like, alright, we start banging. Iron Man's like, listen, I'm gonna arrest you if you don't relax yourself. Peter ends up webbing Iron Man all the way up. All the way up.
Can't move.
Till he can't move. Exactly, yeah. And then it kinda takes some time for Iron Man to have to charge up, yeah. Like he's basically beaming back up his suit to shoot through the webs. But that's gonna take a little while. So Peter just takes this moment to plead his case one last time. He's like, listen, dude, don't be an asshole. Like, help me out. Like, this is your fault. You put me in this situation. And Iron Man just tells him, yeah, and it's true. I agree with Peter in that. But Iron Man just tells this dude, like, listen, I'm not going to help a fugitive, but given this circumstances, I'm going to let you go this time. If I catch you again, though, I'm going to arrest you. Because you know what time it is. But given, you know what I mean, I'm sad. I'm sad to hear that all this happened. I'm sorry to hear about Aunt May, but I can't help you. You know what I mean? And Peter just leaves. So he goes back to the hospital just kind of to check on Aunt May. And when he gets there, he sees Jarvis, the butler. And he's there. He's like, oh, what's good? Like, I got a check for $2 million. It just got deposited into my account. So I just figured I'd do away with it. And he just gives it to them so that they could put Aunt May in a better room. So that's like, so Peter's like, you know, where'd that come from? And Jarvis is just like, you know, basically Iron Man sent me. Tony Stark sent me. That's like a last favor I'm doing for you, you know what I'm saying? But Aunt May gets her next care. The doctor still tells him, like, you know, you really got to make a decision here because she doesn't have much more time left. There's nothing we can do to save her. We're just essentially stalling the inevitable at this point and delaying it. You feel me? She's going to pass away and she's mad old anyway. So Spider-Man goes, he's swinging through, trying to think of what to do. He's like, there's nothing science can do to save her. So I gotta find something maybe magical. So I gotta find a different type of doctor. And guess who he goes to check?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, his teammate on the New Avengers. At this time. Because remember, Strange joined after Civil War. He joined them. So anyway, he goes to him, he's like, listen, tells him the situation. Is there anything you can do to help me? Doctor Strange is like, there's nothing really I can do, but I'll cast this spell where you can go ask every omnipotent being in the Marvel Universe for help. You can go see if any of them will help you. And he does it. So he does the spell. Spider-Man goes and talks to Galactus. He goes and talks to Infinity. He goes and talks to all he goes and talks to the one above all. He talks to every ultimate being. The one above all is basically Stan Lee. And R.I.P. him. This book actually has an afterword by him. But yeah, like the one above all is no one is above him.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man goes to talk to him and asks him for help. And he tells him, listen, it's Aunt May's time to go. She's old. There's nothing we can do. Feel me? We're not changing this shit for her, you know what I mean, to continue her life, you know what I mean? Even though that's hard to hear. I understand that, but you have to let the natural way of life progress. So Spider-Man comes back into Doctor Strange's like lair, and he's like, I'm not hearing that shit. And he's like, I know you got some time spell in here. So he starts digging through Strange's shit, his books and shit. And then Strange's like, stop, like, Spider-Man, stop. And then Spider-Man basically does this spell to go back in time. Remember I told you this was a stupid comic. He goes back in time to where Aunt May was about to get shot, right? He appears there. And he goes to try and stop the bullet from hitting her. And then these giant demons called Night Stalkers, they look like Alien from the movie Alien. They look like that. I forget what it's called, but they're called Night Stalkers in this. They go and just attack this nigga. He's bleeding. He's like hurt, you know what I mean? And Doctor Strange comes and saves him. He's like, listen, I told you, you can't try to do that because there's beings in the time-verse that try to kill people who might try and stop time from changing, you know what I mean? Like, very complicated and difficult, but like basically those Night Stalkers are trying to stop Peter from altering the timeline as it happens, you feel me?
That's dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they attack him, and Doctor Strange is like, I have to take you to a time when I wasn't at my lair because I can't see myself, so I can heal you. And that's not important at all, but it happens to take us to the next moment. You know what I mean? So now Spider-Man's all healed up. He's sitting outside of Doctor Strange's crib, mad sad, because he just went through all this shit for nothing that had no impact at all.
This nigga is Spider-Man.
And then a little girl just comes up to him and is like, hey, if you want to save Aunt May, follow me. A little girl, like on some horror movie shit. Like, B would like this shit. Like, she's just like, you know, if you want to find out how to save her, follow me. So he's like, I bet. You know what I mean? He follows her.
Like, desperate.
She disappears. And he's like looking for her in the park. He sees a fat dude sitting on a bench. He's like, hey, what's good? What are you doing over here? He's like, you see a little girl? He's like, nah, I'm just this gamer. I made money off games, you know what I mean? I play games to escape from my reality, you know what I mean? And then he's like, okay, whatever. Then Peter goes and then he sees a guy in a limo pull up. And he's like, yo, get in real quick. I'm going to take you to the girl. I know where she's at. And he's like, and Peter gets in. He's like, all right. Like, it's crazy. Like, so he gets in and then the dude's like, yeah, I'm a billionaire. I use my smart and genius to kind of just isolate myself and create new technologies. And now I got mad bread. You know what I mean? And basically all these people he's seeing are him in another alternate reality. Like the gamer is Peter if he maybe just only played video games. You know what I mean? And then the rich dude is him if he focused on just his technology and started a company. Which he will eventually. We'll talk about that later, but you know, this is just like a vision type of thing. And then, of course, the little girl. Then he pops out the limo. The dude's like, hey, this is basically where you get off. And he kind of tells him a story about this girl he used to love and how he had to let her go. You know what I'm saying? He tells him this story about that and how he wishes he never did it. But anyway, Peter gets out. He's looking for the little girl. He sees this woman in a big red dress. Just like demonic looking woman. And she's like, listen, like, there's big changes you have to make in your life. Every little thing you do has a big impact on everything else. You know what I mean? Crazy. Every single choice impacts everything else. And she's like, all those people are your dream selves from another reality, essentially. And then she's like, you know, I can help you save Aunt May. And then that, you know, at that point, Spider-Man's really intrigued. He's like, you know, because he feels like she's telling her bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you talking about, these dream selves and all that? So, the woman turns into Mephisto. And Mephisto is essentially Satan, or the devil of Marvel. That's what his character is. He rules hell and shit like that. He wears red. He's the devil. And he's like, I'm the only person that can save Aunt May. No one else. I know you went to go ask everyone in Marvel, and then no one can help you. I'm the only one. So I'm gonna make a deal with you. He's like, no, I'm not gonna make a deal with you. Like, what you want me to sell my soul? Like, the fuck? I'm not gonna do that with you. And then Mephisto's like, dude, I don't want your soul. That's so like cliche. Like, that's like that. I stopped stealing people's souls like way back in the day. That's what he tells him basically. Like, he's like, I want something actually that's gonna like sustain me. I want something that makes you happy. I want to take that away. I want your love. I want your marriage. You know what I'm saying? I want you to give me that. And in exchange, I'll let Aunt May be alive. I'll let her remain to live. So at this point, Peter, or Spider-Man, he's kind of taken back by this, but he is also intrigued. And he kind of...
That nigga's a...
That's what I'm saying. He's like,
what a pussy.
But it's like, what would you do, bro? That's a tough-ass decision, you know what I'm saying? That's your aunt that raised you, and you already lost Uncle Ben. And then it's your wife, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of backs up. Mephisto's like, go ahead and take some time. Go in that room right there. Go look in that room. Peter goes in the room, opens the door. He sees Mary Jane talking to Mephisto. Basically, he's giving her the same deal. Mephisto's giving Mary Jane the same deal that he's giving Peter. So Peter walks in like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? This is going on too. And he's like, yeah, like, I want you guys to come up with a decision together. It's only
the real Mary Jane?
Yeah, Mary Jane, like, it's her. She's there somehow. You know what I mean? The whole time he was
her deal is to...
Hey, yo,
to break up
the
marriage.
The deal is, yeah, I want to take your marriage. You guys were never married, and Aunt May will live.
And that's her deal too, part.
Yeah, like he says, I want you guys to come up with it together. That's the only way I'll really be like happy and really fulfilled for it. You know what I mean? I want you guys to really suffer through making that decision together. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll give you guys 24 hours to make the decision. And he kind of sends them back to like the real Earth, whatever, like back in their apartment or whatever they was hiding, whatever hotel.
I don't know.
And that's crazy. Yeah, they're talking, they're debating now. He's saying like, yo, this is my aunt. Like, you know, I don't know.
They could get married again.
That's a good point. I don't know why they didn't do that, but we'll talk about why this happened.
Like, yeah, let's do that.
That's why this comic is very stupid. But as I'm getting to think, this is very important in setting up the Marvel universe and like shit for Spider-Man as we know it. So like we have to do it. You know what I mean? And you ask anyone what's the worst comic of Spider-Man, they'll probably say this one. So unfortunately, we have to understand that there's a lot of plot things that are not explained well enough for us to even understand. It's just done for the sake of the story. But going on. So he sends them back. Now they're debating. Mary Jane's like, listen, don't you think you could kind of move on? Don't you think you can just let her go? And should, you know, it's sad, but, you know, Uncle Ben passed away and you got over that. Feel me? You became Spider-Man and you try to make good out of it. You know what I mean? And Peter Parker's just really not hearing it. He's just like, it'll be my fault if she dies. If I let her die, it will be my fault. Because I jumped out the way, I revealed my identity, I put her in that predicament. And it's just like, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if that was the case. So, you know what I mean? They're just debating. Essentially, that Mary Jane agrees with him. She's like, all right, fine. Fuck it, like, we'll do it if that's what you really want to do.
Right, she
you know what I'm saying?
Move on.
Because she's a writer, though. Because she really loves him, though. If you want your partner to be happy, you will do anything, even if that doesn't make you happy. If you really love them to that extent, I don't necessarily agree with that philosophy, but some characters and some people really feel like that. So essentially, they go back to Mephisto, though. They spend the one more day together, just sitting in their apartment holding each other. So this is called One More Day.
Whoa. That's all they did?
That's all they did. that last 24 hours before they went to go see Mephisto and say we agree,
Dog.
they just held each
Peter
other
didn't get none.
in the dark. They just sat on the floor holding each other. They spent that last day like that.
That was weak.
You gotta keep it close.
Yeah. You can get closer. You feel me? That's it.
But yeah, so
that's funny.
That's crazy, but they do that, and they do the deal. They agree with him. They make the deal with Mephisto, and he tells them. So here, this is where we get into the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
This was not done to reverse the marriage. They did that sort of as the cover. The writer was upset that Civil War just had made Peter Parker reveal his identity. That's something that made a big change in the comic that he was writing. You feel me? As you know, any writer would feel if you change something of their character that they've been writing for years and developing. So he's like, I'm gonna switch that back. I don't give a fuck if Civil War just happened. I'm switching that back. So he says anything that happened after the marriage never happened. Just to Spider-Man. Civil War still happened. House of M still happened. All this stuff still happened. But just the marriage didn't happen. And he didn't reveal himself to the public. So all of a sudden after this, no one remembers that he's Spider-Man.
That's the only clutch thing. Wow.
It is clutch, but it's stupid because he has to go through that again with the new Avengers. When he's cooling with them, they're like, hey, listen, you're the only one we don't know your identity. Because they all be having their mask off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like stupid because you guys just all saw him reveal himself in the press reveal.
But they just don't know.
But now they don't know. So they're like, yo, like, you know, what's your identity? And he's like, you know, I'm not going to tell y'all, basically. He chooses not to. So eventually...
Yeah, the shit that he knows, like, now, because Iron Man don't know his identity, right?
Mm-hmm. Everyone forgets.
So...
Everyone forgets.
Facts. That means all the shit that he knows
that happened,
bro.
Yeah.
That's why I understand why he's
still
low-key, bro.
Yo, what's the writer? Who's the long-time writer for that nigga?
Well, the writer who did this is John Michael Straczynski. This was like his last. This was his go-away.
He used to do it in the back in the day. Mm-hmm. I gotta be specific, you know. Doctor, I'm sorry, I don't want to say his name, but yo, Straczynski. Yo, I respect you, my guy. Feel me? I feel you.
We have some support for one more day out here, I guess. You know what I mean?
I gotta read it before I really say full for full, but I respect that.
Nah, that decision was
that
smart,
part of the decision.
But
I mean, make niggas forget. But so far, I mean, it's choppy, but yeah, you know, yeah.
But yeah, so now he's also not married to Mary Jane anymore. So their marriage never happened. They know each other, but they never got married.
Still should hit on.
So they never they're not even like in a relationship.
Nope. He ain't never knew her.
No, none of that. No, he knew her. She went to school with her, but he just never got it.
Probably fucked a few broad, you know what I'm
saying? He's fucking with other girls right now, yeah. So, now before Mephisto makes it into effect, he says, I want to tell you guys one last thing because I know this is the best part. Remember how he says, Spider-Man, remember I told you about your dream selves earlier? Peter's like, yeah. He's like, what, is that girl? That was me in an alternate reality? That little girl, remember that he was following? And Mephisto's like, no, that little girl is the daughter that you and Mary Jane will now never have. Because you guys just did this. And he just holds that over them and the girl just disappears right in front of them. And they're all like, both Mary Jane and Peter Parker just like,
bro,
just like the judge.
But I find, yo, what is some crazy shit he hit on last night? He seated, you know, family, boom, or who knows, on some crazy, you know, bro, bro, this man weak. He should have had on the last night. I'm sorry, y'all know probably why I be stressing it. But if you know me, you know what I mean, you know. But listen, bro, Peter, man, come on, man.
Well, they do it. They make the decision. It gets nullified, and Marvel they explain it. They don't just say, "Oh, the spell got made." They say that a spell got put out, a gas to make everyone forget. They say that Mary Jane in high school found out that he was Spider-Man and then didn't want to she didn't want to be part of that. It was too dangerous. Yeah. So they Mephisto make shit happen to explain it, but it's essentially just him making this deal, and now
so continue. That's the only person that knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah. And it's interesting because in Fresh Start they might be getting back together. The comic ended with them kissing. We don't know though, and this would be like years of fixing this. You know what I mean? Like this bullshit.
So how old they are? Like
they're in their 30s.
They can still probably have kids.
Yeah, white people kids.
Hey, not this show, not this show, but yeah. So anyway, the comic pretty much ends right there. No bullshit. All it is we see Peter Parker wake up, and he's in his crib with Aunt May. She's making him breakfast, and they're throwing a party for Harry Osborn, who's getting out of rehab.
Well, who's throwing a party for it?
They are, like Aunt May. And Mary Jane's there, but Peter sees her and he's like, oh, I don't give a fuck about her, whatever. And just starts to go try to talk to these other girls. He's just like, ooh, mad stereotypical. Like, oh, look at these hot girls. Because now he can do that. He's not married. And he never had any memory of being married.
Oh. That'd be crazy if they still remember.
Well, the thing is, Mephisto says, I'm going to put a little part in your soul that does remember.
Maybe.
What does that even mean? Either you remember or you don't.
Probably some contact.
Yeah, probably when he sees her, maybe that's what they'll bring up in Fresh Start.
I'm thinking that. I'm thinking that.
So, yup. See, we're already getting ahead, but like I said, that's pretty much where it ends right there. It starts a new era for Spider-Man called Brand New Day. So, one more day, brand new day. And he's still part of the new Avengers who are running from the law. They're hiding from Iron Man, you know what I'm saying? They're not fucking with the whole superhuman act. But right now it's just building up to another conspiracy that's been going on this whole time. And it's been right under our noses when we didn't even know. So it's crazy. But before we get there, we're going to do some talk about the X-Men because we haven't really caught up on what they've been doing. We just know that Scarlet Witch just basically destroyed them all and caused decimation. So our next video is going to be a double feature doing Messiah Complex and Messiah War. Talk about the whole new era and shift in direction for the X-Men as well before we pick back up with the next event that I'm not going to spoil, but it has big impact. So thank you guys for watching. Before we let you guys go, just give some quick rates. Like I said, I'm going to give this a 6 because it has big impact, but it's written terribly. You can tell it's just they want to just switch shit up. They just want it. Yeah, they don't want his identity revealed anymore, and they want to try and make Spider-Man how he was way back in the day. You know what I mean? Like in the older eras. So they were just trying to do that real quick.
But I give it a 5.
5? I guess,
I give it a
5. Honestly,
B likes this. He's like, this shit was alright, and the little girl, that's that horror aspect.
That is some creepy shit. Random little girl just come up to you like, no, that's
I could save your arm.
Like, what? But honestly, yeah, based on the context of how shit's all over the place, I'll give it.
Just knowing Spider-Man, just
the fans said that this was a big disrespect to the character. Because it's something he wouldn't do. Maybe. I mean, I guess that we'll have to find out. Let us know what you guys think. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out.
That's a taste of victory. Riding around town with the trillers around. All my niggas educated, we don't need a cap and gown. Time to lay it down.